my friends, standing here for the brief description of the chapter, name as the making of the scientist. The chapter, the making of the scientist, is about the great scientist Richard Ebright, born on June 11, 1959, in Pennsylvania, United States. The Ebright became a successful scientist after he discovered how cells expanded DNA. The story covers Ebright's scientific mind since his childhood. In doing so, it points out the skills that are important for anyone to be successful. So now for the to examine the further information about Enrichment, I will call Amrutvahini.
The topics are Richard's success at young age and Richard's death. So first let's begin with Richard's success at 10. The story of Richard's success began at the age of 10. An article was written by Richard Ebright and his college roommate was published in an important scientific journal named Proceedings of National Academy of Science. It was important because it explained the theory of how cell works. It was special because it was the first time as a student explained it. So now let's continue with Richard's childhood. Richard was an only child of his parents. They lived in Pennsylvania, USA. Richard didn't have any friends to play with, so he developed an interest in collecting fossils, rocks, and coins. As a young boy, Richard also collected butterflies. Thank you. Success in his young age. Let us move much further. Richard's mother. Richard lost his father when he was in third standard. His mother was the only companion from him. She helped him to come over all the things happened in his life. She helped him in many ways. Like she called his friends at home for playing with him and studying with him. She helped him in very nice way, by which he scored many good marks and grades in his school. And next topic is Richard. Next topic is Richard read book in Enrichment. He was very interested in butterflies. He collected 25 species of butterflies and he was in second standard. But after some time he lost his interest in it. But her mother prepared the book name as Monarch, in which migration system of butterflies and birds is given, by which he got his interest back in all this thing. Such as his mother helped him to overcome all the things happen in his life and to make him more researches on butterflies in the world. It's the Travel of Monarch 10th book. After the end of Travel of Monarch 10th book, Richard was offered an opportunity to study the migration of butterflies. Migration means the seasonal movement of animals from their home to other places. So, Richard has to tag butterflies as the part of the research which was told to him by Dr. Richard Ebright. He was a professor in the Toronto University of Canada. He also studied the migration of butterflies. He was told to tag butterflies and feed them. And after anyone has tagged the butterfly, they would have to send the tag to Dr. Frederick. Later, it was very difficult for him to change the butterflies one by one. So he decided to raise a stock of butterflies. He collected a female monarch and took her eggs and raised a stock of butterflies in the basement of his house. Then he freed them. He tagged the butterflies and freed them. In this way, he raised many butterflies. Later onwards, in 7th grade, he realized what a true scientist is, what true science is, and he participated in the science fair, in the county science fair. In that fair, he projected the slides of rock, and that did not win any award. As at that time, he realized that the real experiments win awards, and he took suggestions from Dr. Frederick. And after that, in the following years, he won many awards in the county and international science fair. Thank you.
Richard's research on butterflies and Richard's entry in country science exhibition. Let's move towards Richard's 8th grade project and Richard's research on zebra butterflies. So, in losing in country science exhibition, first country science exhibition, Richard realized Richard's 8 great project and Richard's project on visceral butterflies. Let's move further by Richard's discovery of a hammer. When Richard was in his second year of high school, Richard discovered an unknown insect hammer, which led to the beginning of his new theory in the life of cells. And you know what? He was curious about the 12 tiny gold spots present on the monarch's paper. Richard, along with another science student, built a device which showed that the 12 tiny spots were producing a harmony which was necessary for the full development of butterfly. This made Richard achieve first prize in the country of science fair, and he also got entry in the International Science and Engineering Fair. Later, he continued his research in monarch's paper. When Richard was a high school junior, he continued his advanced research in monarch's paper. On monarch's paper. In his senior years, he grew cells from the monarch's wing. He also elaborated that cells would develop into normal butterflies if they would be fed by the hormone released by the 12 tiny spots present on the monarch's paper. This project got first prize in the country of the National Science Fair, and he also continued his further research on monarch's paper in the laboratory of Rivers Department. Thank you.
On the topic of brief text on the discovery of hormones and monarch paper, I would like to continue the topic of Richard's study of cell and the study of DNA. Hi, Maharashtra have the topic of Richard's cell and study of DNA. So Richard's study of cell and DNA. So Richard had I think you are familiar with cell. So what is DNA? DNA is a structure which is present in the nucleus, which controls the heredity. Richard joined Harvard University after the summer break. While going on studying in Harvard University, Ebright went back to the laboratory of Department of Agriculture. Then he studied about the structure of hormone here. By using that complex instrument, he got to know and got to study about how the chemical structure works. Then after 1.5 years, he got an idea about his new theory by looking at the X-ray photo of chemical structure of hormone. When he realized, he believed that he could explain to people how the cell could reach the blueprints of DNA. And he and his college roommate, James Arbo, had constructed a plastic model of cell and how cell could understand the blueprints of DNA. They construct a plastic model, and afterwards they also write a paper explaining the theory. So yeah, it was all about the Richard's cell and DNA study. So next. Highest honor in Harvard. So Richard graduated with the second position in the class of 1,510 students. So it was a very proud moment for him when he stood second in his class. Nevertheless, he had not stood in first, but it's okay. He became a graduate student in researcher in the Harvard Medical School. When he started experimenting to prove his new theory was about how to cure the cancer.